Hello and welcome. I'm Danette Kubanda, and joining me today for a very special interview is Frank Gutta. He's a CPA and retirement planning specialist with 35 years experience. He's also the author of Your Safe Retirement Roadmap, a powerful guide to planning and living a deeply fulfilled and prosperous retirement. Thanks for being with us, Frank.
Thank you for having me.
So you want to help us avoid the retirement danger zone. What exactly is the danger zone?
The retirement danger zone is the 5 years before and the first 5 years during retirement. You want to be very careful and protect the assets that you have so it'll create an income stream that is guaranteed for life and not to the vagaries of the stock market. Because if the stock market goes down during that retirement danger zone, you could have a problem.
And you say that you've got a 4-bucket system to help with that. Tell us about
That's why I talk about the 4-bucket system to avoid something like the retirement danger zone. The first bucket is your liquidity bucket. This is money you keep aside for emergencies, because emergencies will happen and usually happen at the most inopportune time. So you don't want a short-term emergency to mess up your long-term goals. The second bucket is your growth bucket. This is money you keep aside that will grow to outpace inflation. And you can invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, a growth annuity, whatever you feel comfortable with. The third bucket is your income bucket. This is where you set aside money that will give you an income stream that is guaranteed for as long as you live, no matter how long you live. So there's only 3 vehicles that can do that. The first one is Social Security. The second one is a pension, but less than 20% of the population has a pension today. And the third one is an annuity. An annuity is an investment that you give to an insurance company. In return, they'll give you an income stream that is guaranteed for life, no matter how long you live. Even if the account value went to 0, you'll continue to get the check as long as you live. And if you select a joint life, as long as your spouse lives. This is definitely a key part of the planning. The fourth bucket is what you want to leave for the next generation. You can do this efficiently, income tax and estate tax free for pennies on the dollar. But more important, it gives you permission slip to spend all your money because the kids are already taken care of.
And how does this differ from what most stockbrokers do?
Most stockbrokers use the 1-bucket system. They got a portfolio primarily of stocks and bonds. And as you get older and they want to reduce your risk, they increase your bond portfolio and reduce your stock portfolio. But bonds can also go down. Today, we are in the lowest interest rate environment ever. And as interest rates go up, guess what? Bond values go down. So if you have a portfolio of just stocks and bonds, you can't fulfill this guaranteed lifetime income. The 4% rule doesn't work as well, especially in a down market. So do you want to leave your retirement to the vagaries of the stock market, or do you want certainty? And I think most people will say they want certainty.
And you say that there are ways that you can never, ever lose money in the stock market.
There's investment vehicles that basically buy options against the different stock market indices. So when the market goes up, you get to share in the upside. You don't get all the upside, but you get to share in the upside. When the market goes down, you lose nothing. So your principal is protected. So you can still get good returns without taking unnecessary risk, especially if you're getting closer to retirement and you've accumulated the sum of money. And if something like 2001 or 2008 happens again, you could have a problem.
And then you also want to share some creative ways we can pay for long-term care.
Long-term care is a big issue with the nation today. A 65-year-old has a 70% chance of needing some kind of care during their life. Today, every 40 seconds, somebody in America has a stroke. So the government has created creative ways back in 2010 using the Pension Protection Act to give creative ways for insurance companies to pay for long-term care. So if you invested X number of dollars, say you invested $100,000 you set aside for long-term care, it'll pay you 3 times as much. You could pay about $300,000 for long-term care using the Pension Protection Act.
Oh, thank you so much for breaking all of this down. Planning for retirement seems so overwhelming, but you put it in a way that we can handle it. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
To learn more about Frank, his book, Your Safe Retirement Roadmap, as well as all of his projects, please visit his website at yoursaferetirementroadmap.com. Thank you so much, Frank.
Thank you for having me.